Hello, everyone. Welcome back. It is Wednesday. It is time for some Zweihander fun. And, excuse me, we are here. We are ready to get started. I'm going to introduce myself and then go around to these wonderful people so you know who everybody is. So, I get to play Nethra Fusefire. She, her pronouns are dwarven, artillerist, agnostic, non-com. Oh, well, I have to fix. There we go. Now everybody's in the right place. I fix things on the fly. It's great. So, but that means we can go directly below me to the wonderful, fabulous Billy. Hello, Billy. How are you? How you doing? How's life?
Apparently wonderful and fabulous. Not the adjectives I would use, but thank you anyways for the gesture. Uh, Good. Things are good. I play Ram Saw, he him, and um, you know, it's one of those things where he you trusts what he can see. Um, and he's seen a lot of Sigmar. Uh, for obvious reasons if you've been watching the last couple episodes. Um, but yeah, excited. Got some advancements, got some fun things gonna happen, and looking forward to it.
Ooh, I can't wait. I want to see. Well, we'll find out. Then we jump over to Gisela, who is apparently the only holy person that Nethra likes, and is exempt from the shoot on sight and then light on fire rule that Nethra has developed for all other holy peoples.
Hi, I'm Laura. I will be playing Gisela tonight, who continues to assert that Nethra hasn't actually seen any other holy people during this campaign, so really needs to not make a hard and fast rule there. I will, as I said, be playing Gisela, who is the Godsworn of Sigmar, our resident holy person, who apparently has trouble doing absolutely anything that's not praying, because I've had a lot of failed rolls that aren't prayer rolls.
I guess it's just because Sigmar likes you a whole lot.
The most. A whole lot.
A whole hell of a lot.
Like a 75% chance a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Weird how the 75% chance stat is the one you're rolling really well on. That's just like
it's shocked. I have absolutely
that's preparation
no
means
idea.
opportunity is what that is.
That is just, the best way to be. That leaves us up to Pope. Hey, Pope, how you doing? How's life going?
Doing well. Hey, everybody. Pope here. Pope Robo on Twitter, Pope Robo on Twitch. Lurking on your streams today. I am back with the wonderful Zweihander crew playing Aldar. Both of us use he, him pronouns. And I have invested a significant amount of XP in order to heal Sigmar's favorite child.
Yeah, that is a thing we have to do, isn't it? We have to figure that out. But that leads us to the wonderful GM for tonight. Hi, Tom. How are you? How's life going?
I'm good. I'm excited to be here. I'm excited for a little bit of I'm maybe lost in the woods. We'll see. Perhaps we'll get lost in the woods. Perhaps we'll break into song. We'll find out. But I'm excited to see what you all do as we start moving into the Drackwald, the dark forest at the very heart of the Daedric Empire. Well, so we return. The light of morning does not really come through the forest canopy. The rain that you can all hear, you can feel it in the air, you can smell it, but it's trickling down slowly through the tree cover, rolling little pops of thunder. It's really more of a gray light that alerts you to the fact that morning has come. You all awaken in your... it wasn't quite like a slip cave, but it had that quality. You had to like... I imagine Remsaw probably had to like turn sideways to slide through the opening, and there was more space in the back. You slept safely for the night. You find yourself at the bottom of a valley. The trees overgrown. A long journey still ahead of you. What do you all do?
All right, rise and shine. It's time for the fucking.
I promise to rise but not shine.
Yeah, fair enough. We got a whole lot of roots to trundle over before we make it to the road.
Hey, the rain stuck around. Nice.
Nice in some ways, suck in others.
Yeah, but hopefully the big flying monster won't be above the road.
That's the nice thing. The suck is that it's going to be a wet forest that we're trudging through.
A dwarf.
I only like my beard so damp.
As you begin to set out for the morning, where are you all heading?
Road.
You want to head back towards the road?
Yeah,
Now-
it's sort of a forward, not a directly up, but like angling towards where we're going towards the road.
Okay. I will need someone to roll me a navigation roll. The deep woods impose a penalty, but you are trying to find the road, which I believe, if I recall correctly, you guys rolled really well getting here.
Mm-hmm.
I will give you one ongoing thing for that. This is only a -10 on navigation
Okay.
to find your way back towards the road. So, first of all, finding direction. Nethra, I believe that is your deal.
Yep. I find places in the dark and I get us there. And that is an 8 under a 52.
Nethra, you feel very confident you know the general direction the road is in, indicating that the ravine that you're in is quite steep. To exit out of this in a forward sort of direction, I'm going to need someone to roll a survival roll to pick a path to find the path of least resistance, as it were. You're going to get there. It's really a matter of how hard and how much effort it takes to get back towards the road.
Sure. Let's go.
All right. Roll me that survival check.
That is a 9 under a 49.
2 single-digit rolls. That's fine. That's all right. We're doing real well today. I'll accept that. You dwarves being sure of foot and sure of purpose, you very quickly determine the quickest path out of the ravine that not only provides very sure footing in the wet conditions that you're starting to face, but also enough space for Remshaw to move through quite ably. As Remshaw, rough terrain is not completely a problem for you necessarily. You all begin making paths through the forest. It is probably about an hour or two before you even get, actually, based on if you're like kind of like taking an angled path to the road, it would take probably the first half of this day to make your way towards the road. As you near the road, are you all moving out of the forest cover together, or are you sending someone ahead?
We should definitely look before we go out there.
Remsaw nods in agreement and steps backwards.
That's fine. I'll go look.
Gisela, the forest cover was starting to lessen as you all made your way for the last few hours. More rain beginning to fall through. The thunder moving off more distantly as the storm is seeming to start passing, though the rain doesn't really show any hint of letting up anytime soon. As you begin to get towards the edge of the forest, it turns into a bit of a downpour. Please roll me an awareness test at -10 for the visual impairment of this heavy rain.
Awareness test. Okay. Not scrutinized. We're just being aware.
Yep. You are looking and listening.
All right. Well, that just failed because of the -10. It was 41 under 46, except -10, we're going 41 under 36. So no.
It's hard to make out more than 100 yards in front of you as the rain is falling. And the noise of the rain coming down is also making things difficult. But you can hear on the edge of your awareness a horn call. And then after a few moments more, an answering call. But you can't really place where they're coming from, other than it is generally in the 180-degree sweep in front of you.
Okay. I'm going to take a few more minutes and see if I hear another set of calls and if they're getting farther away or closer.
All right. Are you hoping to do like a scrutinize here to get to take a moment and think about it?
Yeah.
I will give you a flat scrutinize here, and then that will be the end of it.
Okay. Flat scrutinize. Exactly what I needed. 46.
You wait. And actually, Gisela, with this kind of you literally hit it on the nose, it would take you a little bit to do this.
Mm-hmm.
As you're kind of sitting there, the rest of the party comes up as they begin kind of working their way towards you. What does Gisela say as this happens?
She's not going to say anything. She's just going to sort of shush them and make a stay there motion and wait to hear it.
10 minutes pass. 15. On the verge of 20 minutes. And I kind of have a sense for this. Who would be the one that was getting ready to say something after 20 minutes of sitting there silently?
Not the guy that doesn't talk.
Yeah. No, you weren't on my list. You weren't the top of my list.
I don't think I say something, but my body does. I think there's a loud passing of gas at the 20-minute mark.
I don't think Nethra talks because she's used to being on, waiting for a call in that moment of silence and needing silence. But she does, she'll turn to Remso at the 5-minute mark and just go start playing Rochambeau with him. It's she's still
playing what?
Rochambeau.
Rock, paper, scissors.
Oh, I have a different meaning for that word.
Yep. Anyone who's played Battletech does.
Technically, this is Rochambeau. Yeah, blame the 19th century English. They're the ones that named it. Rock, paper, scissors. But yes, it's like, and if even if Remsaw isn't playing, responding, she's still going.
Oh no, he Remsaw, after like 4 or 5 rounds, you're convinced that he's just playing rock the entire time.
As a spirited game of Rochambeau begins to occur, and Aldar gets a very intense look on his face as he's attempting to hold in any sort of potential noise. A horn call goes out and is soon answered. Gisela, the first one was not particularly close. The second one was very close. And as best as you can tell, there are multiple individuals sweeping the road.
She's going to gesture again because she's trying not to make noise. She knows that's what she was listening for. Slightly back into the woods and then farther down. Like, we're not going this way. We're going to go slightly back a little, but stay as shallow as possible. And then once we're a little bit farther back, she'll tell everybody what she heard.
I would like the entire party to roll me stealth as you begin to move away.
$22 under 62.
That's
20.
very good.
22 under 42.
Critical success. That's good. Aldar, did you also roll a 22?
Yep.
Okay, so I'm counting those as double successes. Gisela.
45 under 47.
Okay.
Do we add the agility bonus? No, so it's
No.
just the straight.
You're just trying to roll. If you have no training in stealth, you're trying to roll under your agility percentage.
All right, I do.
If you have a dot in stealth, you add 10%.
You add 10% to your target.
64 over 53.
The good news is with the 2 crit successes and another success, this is going to be, even though I rolled decently well, y'all make it again. As you're able to slide off. Remshaw, what does Remshaw do to make a bit of extra noise, but is like, what happens, Remshaw? You tell me.
He tries too hard.
Mm.
So he's like digging up pieces of like mud and making twig snaps, and then he's taking that mud and trying to like rub it all over he's trying to look like dirt at the cost of being quiet.
My veterans, as you see this happening, what do you all do?
There is just too much concentration and fear at the moment to address. It's just this, again, to try and make the crit make sense. It's just that experience kicking in and going, I'm not. If it's going to happen, it's not going to be me.
So Gisela didn't crit, so she'll go ahead and be the one who helps here, because obviously she's not that focused on it. And what she does is, as she's walking, she's like sort of trying to quietly kick anything that's going to make noise if Remshaw steps on it out of the way.
I love that. Yep, move that. Okay. So, hold on. I've decided that I'm doing an updated I'm just going to be tracking positions as you guys move along. You move away from the road far enough that you all feel very confident that you are not going to be found easily in this rain. And you have a moment to the four of you.
Did I hear big wing beats? Like, did I hear anything to indicate that the big flying thing was out there?
You did not get any indications that the big flyers were back in the air.
Okay. So I think at least one of the guys on horseback is out there. I heard Aldar's Hornoff friend. Seemed like at least one of them was close. We may not, maybe shouldn't go all the way to the road. As close as we can as possible to keep moving fast, but I think they'll see us.
All right.
You
All
all
right.
moving off?
Mm.
Okay. I'm gonna forego here as you guys have good awareness of where the road was and everything. I'm gonna
Mhm.
forego right now the navigation roll. Picking out a good path through the forest is still going to require a new survival check, as you guys are going to begin the second leg of your journey today. And this is going to take the rest. This roll is going to encapsulate the rest of the day and finding a campsite.
Okay. 25 under 49.
Okay. Very good. And are you looking to, and you're all looking to pick a path parallel to the road, but in the forest, kind of in the mid-range of the forest?
Something that's gonna let us go fast.
It's best we can without being seen.
The rain is a constant. It's the late summer. It becomes extraordinarily muggy. The ground is covered in mud. It is difficult to move at times, as you are now in like not quite the deep forest. The rain's falling through. I am going to ask everyone to make me a toughness test to withstand the travel. Gisela, you're going to take a minus 10% penalty on this.
Yep.
For but
Yep.
because Aldar rolled really well in their survival and picked you all a good path, everyone else is at a flat roll. Gisela, you're at a minus 10 roll.
Yep. Hey, at least we're not leaving footprints, though.
Nope.
Not yet. The rain is strong enough that it is washing away any trace of your passage.
I have trackless step for like another 20
I was flavoring
hours.
trackless step.
Okay.
With the rain that you also called down through Sigmar.
Yeah.
2?
Ancestors are with the dwarves. I rolled a 6 under
Rex.
a 64.
Rex, I know you know probability.
Yes, I know. I got Kelly to bless my dice these are Kelly dice.
These are really good dice. You've rolled 3 single-digit rolls tonight alone.
No. Only 2. I
Only
rolled
2.
it.
Oh, okay.
I rolled
I've
a
rolled
20.
2 as well.
Yeah.
The dwarfs are.
I had the 8, the 22, and then the 2. That's it.
I will say that has generally been the tone of this campaign, where it's just like how many single-digit and teen rolls are we going to get in one session? Apparently, the answer is more. And meanwhile, Billy looks like he did not roll that.
I did get 24 under 58.
Oh, you're fine then. Yeah. Gisela, how'd you do?
Well, I got a 52, which is the number I would need if it wasn't for the negative 10 penalty for wearing heavy armor. So that was a 52 over a 42. Because apparently I can't do anything that isn't praying to Sigmar.
Roll me
So-
2d10.
Only 2d10?
Only 2d10. Plus 2, please.
Okay. So that's a 14.
All right. What's your peril threshold?
Well, it's 11, but I get to ignore the first level of peril, so it would need to be to 17.
Physical or mental?
Both.
Both.
I have
Both. Right. Yeah, Gisla's a tank.
Both.
All right. All right.
Look, apparently I take a lot of damage, but you can't peril me.
So, as the rest of this day progresses, where in the group are you all traveling together? Have you broken into different groups as you're moving along? And I'm going to start with let's start with Remshaw. Remshaw, I'm interested to hear, how are you traveling? Is there someone you look to walk alongside or anything like that?
He, as an opportunist, maybe it's not a good idea to start with me. But he'll he's great at association and inference, so he's going to attempt to infer where the rest of the group would like him to be based on their position. He knows sometimes large, cumbersome folk can be large and cumbersome, so he's going to try to stay out of the way. Maybe, and this is a long way of saying it, but equidistant amongst all party members.
You're going to try like position yourself in the center, as it were.
Yeah, safely far enough away, respecting everyone's personal space and being in like close enough to make a difference if something were to happen.
Let me toss out, so who's taking the lead on this particular group? Who is leading the way? Aldar. And would anyone be joining Aldar near the front?
Join Aldar near the front.
All right, Gisela and Aldar are moving along together, and then how are the two of you handling picking your way through this forest as you move through what seem to be increasingly thickening woods?
It's a lot of just keeping an eye on what's at ground and then looking up to Remsaw level as to what's going to be in the way as things are thickening up, and just trying to find as amenable a path as possible that we're not going to, okay, let's just avoid that fallen log entirely. Okay, that tree has obviously been struck by lightning. That's going to be a crispy critter. Let's avoid it. Things like that, where it's like, oh crap, that's clay. We're going to have to deviate, as far as we can away from that because we'll get stuck.
Aldar, you picked the path, and Gisela, you're moving through this with him. While there is space to move, it seems like the trees are almost being strangled by the undergrowth in this forest. Vine-like plants wrapping around them. They're like feelers growing out, almost reaching towards each other as you're moving through this. It's almost like you're constantly moving through archways of different veiled, like, undergrowth, foliage, as the forest seems to be growing over itself again. There's just an overabundance and influx of growth and change and life in this area that doesn't seem to be particularly welcoming.
When did we start noticing this? Was this something we noticed as we approached the other village? Is this something we've only seen
This is something that now that you're in, you at any point in this up until the last 24 hours, you've only been on the very outskirts of the forest. You're now in the mid-range of the forest, and you've been in the deeper forest, and you have been noticing this to greater or lesser degrees throughout the entire time. There is just a feeling of almost like the forest closing in around you, locking you in whenever you're inside of it.
Oh, good. Can't go to the road because there's a dead guy on a horse. Can't go into the forest because the forest wants to trap us here.
I'd like to make a folklore check.
Absolutely. What are you hoping to find out?
What's a suitable enough sacrifice to the forest folk to get them to lay the fuck off?
Go ahead and roll me a folklore test. You not being from this particular region, I'm gonna knock you a slight -10 for the specifics of this forest.
That's fair. But the ancestors are with me today. That's clear. I am going to have a heart of it. Fuck
What's
time in my match tomorrow. So that is a 10 under a 49.
So, Elar, this fits with the fact that you knocked the previous folklore test with this forest out of the park. This forest is at odds with itself. It is a battlefield in a cosmic sense. Tal holds some sway here. The ruinous powers also hold sway in the forest. If you had to guess, part of the forest that you're in, you don't want to make the sacrifice.
Wait a second. It's got a terrible idea.
Diesel's gonna stop because he said, wait a second.
This section of the forest is of our enemy, but not the one that we're currently facing.
The one from the village.
Fecundous growth is also a pernicious part of the Rebel's purview. But if we could draw the horseman here, the grandfather hates the undead, especially when they're not his. The enemy of my enemy.
That's going to be hard for next 15 to 20 hours.
Wait. Are we saying that this is an evil forest?
No,
This section,
to light the forest on fire.
not the entire forest. This
You said
section,
this section is evil. You heard him. I was all right. Right?
the ruinous powers and Tal are fighting over this.
Hey, Tall, can I burn this evil shit?
He probably wants the forest intact, and
Yeah,
in
but
time
you
he
do
will
that.
take it.
Don't humans and those people who live above ground do that thing where you burn dead pieces of forest and then it gets healthy again? Shit.
Nephra,
Yeah.
I want you to look at what's growing up these trees. This is not dead pieces of forest.
This is fecundity. This is strangler figs and things that the grandfather likes. It's life strangling life. But I have. Yeah, you're right. They're not going to find us for a while. But doesn't mean we can't leave a very deliberate trail with those
Yes.
straggling
It's
behind.
actually, it means exactly that.
No.
You can't leave a trail.
if we do it purposefully and
Yeah.
in a very deliberate sense, just give me a moment. I'd like to set up a deadfall trap, if I may.
Setting a trap. Now, you're hoping, what are you're hoping to catch undead in this?
I am hoping for whatever experiments they are losing, this will thin their ranks.
Ah, okay. Okay. In case they're following you?
Yeah.
Okay. I feel, do you have a dot in warfare?
Oh, yes.
I feel like this would be a warfare test.
Do you want me to assist you in making a trap?
Sure.
I mean, I can do that.
55 under 59.
That is a crit success.
Do you... Well, okay, then you don't want the 3 that I rolled, so...
Well,
I mean, yeah, either way, they would be quite nice. As Aldar sets a... Oh, Aldar, what do you do?
it's very simple. I'm guessing as if this thing has as much undergrowth as I think it does, it's wet. There's probably an incline.
Mm-hmm.
It's a very simple deadfall trap. There's plenty of timber about, and I have a rim saw. So we can take one of those logs, a little bit of rope, some vine to disguise the rope, and make it so that it'll pull out whatever rocks are propping that thing up if somebody trips it. And then that log's just going to clock down with whatever has following what set off the trap.
Okay. Well, you all take a little bit of time to set this trap, but with the time that you've been making, it doesn't knock you back too far on your travels. And as you begin to move on, I will make a roll here in a second, but I am interested in hearing in the second leg of this day, Nethra or Remsa, what are you two up to during this travel?
Nethra's got her repeating crossbow out because it's quieter than the gun. And keeping track in case there's anything not evil that we can consume of the woodland creature variety.
Goats, as you do. But also, I feel like you notice Remsaw eyeing the bevy of firearms attached to various parts of your body.
Mm-hmm.
Like it wasn't happening before, but he's seen some of the things that you can do with them, and like
Murder? Lots of murder?
yes, yeah. So it's at the point where it almost feels like you're a cigarette ad designed for minors, and I'm like the kid, and you've got the cigarettes, and it feels wrong.
No, come to the dark side. We have bombs. And I think she's like notices that and goes, "Oh, hey Rimsa, can I tie a couple of empty bottles to your back?" Cool. We're gonna collect more water so that Gisela can do the holy water blessy bit shit, and then we have more bombs to throw at evil undead that can, massacre a shit ton of them. That was fun too.
Mm-hmm.
Want me to teach you to shoot this gun?
Huh?
Yeah, but not right now because it's too loud. It'll be way too loud and they'll draw attention. And
It kind of starts to like reach out as if like to almost be like,
Also, it's raining. You don't want to get the gunpowder wet. It'd be a massive mess. Rule 1.
You see him repeat what you just said in his head.
Yeah. Rule 1. Powder doesn't get wet. Muzzle is always up. Important rule. Also, 3 rounds a minute requires spit. Well, fight, pour, spit, tap, aim. Done. 3 rounds a minute.
Okay.
Yeah, we can go over targeting. How are you got a much you're taller than I am, so that might actually give you a better line of sight. Ooh, ooh. We could give you a cannon. You could have a mounted cannon. Yeah. Just no, we'll work with it. It's fine. I've got an idea. So like, and she starts designing a rocket, basically what would be a rocket propelled projectile device that could be shoulder mounted on our ogre friend.
Okay.
But she's also doing like she's tied a bunch of the empty bottles to Remsaw's shoulders so that they can start collecting more of the rainwater so we can make more holy water bombs. Because it worked. That's her answer. It's like fire and bombs. That is what has been working. That is what we're going to keep going with. And as she's going, she's running she's doing the basic introduction to gunpowder to Remsaw. Like, okay, so you need saltpeter and a bunch of other stuff to make gunpowder, but saltpeter is the most important part. And you need to treat potassium chloride with oh wait, I know this line. Treating potassium chloride with hydrogen, of course.
He frantically rips out like a piece of paper, tries to, in the rain, tries to write all of it down, and it's like you see him on the heading of the note, right? Anarchist cookbook. And then as soon as the water hits the ink, it fades away. So it's like all of his efforts are in vain.
Look, we've totally got this understand. All right, so then we're gonna make sure that it can repeating. Ooh, hey, Gatling guns. No, see, this is the thing that I've heard. So you can see that this one's got a repeating barrel and it rotates, and you can do a bunch of different shots coming out of it multiple times before you need to reload it, whatever. You can start feeding in multiple enemies, or not enemies, but although that would be really cool, we could fire our enemies through cannons. Come back to that one. No, but repeating bullets, you just thread a whole bunch of them, and it's like you get a long string going of all of the things, and you feed it through, and it keeps going boom, 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 boom.
At this point, he's trying, but
all right. We'll come back to that one. But we'll have lots of fun. I've got an extra gun for you. We'll teach you how to use it.
Oh, yeah. He's trying to think about like he wants to thank you, doesn't know like how, so he looks around in the ground and grabs like a handful of sticks and gives you a
We're gonna need to hold on to those for later because I'm assuming we're gonna light them on fire, but okay.
Oh, good. And then he just kind of is in Nethra's magnetic field, like orbiting kind of around.
There's a moment where there's like a telepathic eyebrow raise between from Nethra to Aldar, going, "Ha! I've now converted him to artillery. Ha ha ha! Melee loses. Infantry loses. I get the big guy for artillery. Mwahaha.
Or do they win?
Both win. But that's like the joke that's being like telepathically sent through eyebrow communication.
What level spell is that?
Extensive period of time of being in a group together. You can't condense it with a spell. Or maybe Gisela can, because Sigmar loves her a whole lot.
Sigmar actually doesn't love me enough for telepathy.
Yeah, that's one of the domains Sigmar doesn't really cover.
Feel like that's a chaos thing? That's a
I
Zinch?
feel like reading people's mind would be definitely a chaos thing.
Yeah.
Slanesh knows what you want.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, Slash just throws things against a wall and sees what sticks. So you all find with the rain in the mid forest, you find as Eldar a nice little patch of high ground that isn't wet, moderately flat, and kind of like the side of a rise in the forest. There's not quite an overhang. You wouldn't have a hidden fire, but it is at the very least one side would be covered, and you have a pretty safe place to sleep as you all find this and are able to stop moving for the first time in over 12 hours.
Looks like the best place we can camp right now. See about gathering what I can from around here to make this place a little bit more comfortable.
Eldar, how's your concussion?
So far hasn't given me much pause. Aside from, reacting a half second slower than usual.
Yeah. Nethra? Shoulder, right?
Shoulder's fine. Also, mostly not bleeding anymore. Actually, no, I'm really fine. Ooh, but, and she like kind of reaches up and pulls like the bottles that she had hanging off of her. So I was going, and she kind of sets them in front of Gisela. It's like, so we can make those into the bombs again. Good idea, right?
Yeah, I'll see what I can do. I think I'm worried I'm wearing out my my welcome. We'll see what we can do.
Is that a thing you can do?
What
Is that a thing you can do?
is what a thing I can do?
Wear out your welcome with your god person.
Well, let me put it. Sometimes when someone comes up and asks you for things over and over and over again, you get annoyed because they're coming up and asking you for things over and over and over and over again. And they're like, leave me alone. I have other things to do. Can you like do one thing by yourself?
Yeah, but I think this falls under the Admiral. We've got an enemy combatant that's weak to this particular form of artillery, so we should actually make sure we keep using the correct form of artillery against the evil people that you don't like. I think that doesn't really fall into asking for for the thing over and over and over again. It's just, being prepared.
And we will definitely ask, but I've been around religious people all my life, and you learn that sometimes the gods have their own idea of what's important.
Okay. I'll be back in a moment. Is there anything in particular I should keep my eye out for while I'm going gathering?
I mean, it concerns me that you said that right after I gave a sort of ominous statement about praying, but no,
Okay.
A building? If there's a building, I'd really love a building.
Don't think I can just ask Tall for one of those out here. But
I can
we'll
get you a
see.
lean-to, and I can get you a lean-to in about 20 minutes. I don't know if that counts as a building for your purposes.
It definitely doesn't. And I would be careful asking Tull for anything out here. He hasn't. Look, I haven't asked Tull for a lot of things that he's answered, but the things they've been recently, I've gotten answers from places other than Tull. So maybe don't ask Tull for things. I think he's busy.
I won't push. I'm going to try and see what there is that's useful around here, especially stuff that can make things a little bit easier at night for everybody.
As the sun begins to set, Eldar, roll me a survival check. Do you have dark vision or the
I
equivalent?
do not.
Oh,
I'm not that dwarf. I'm the
at
one
a
that
minus
just kills
10,
people.
please.
Yeah, I'm the other dwarf.
Yeah, roll me at a minus 10.
And the ancestors continue hearing my prayers right now. The luck is going to rise. That's a 13 under a, in this case, 39.
What like was there any particular thing that you, Pope, were hoping to find?
Yeah, a few things. First, some dry moss, something that we could put down for folks to sleep on.
Mm-hmm.
And then just like some edible berries, maybe some leaves, something to just vary up from our provisions and allow them to extend a little bit further.
So, first of all, you are able to find an edible set of berries and roots on the side of this hillside that you are starting to camp on, that anyone who wants to may substitute in for their rations for the one night here. You do find cushioning to make bedding underneath the bedrolls. In addition to that, when you're looking, you catch a glance of a rabbit, and you're tempted for a moment, as rabbit meat would be quite delicious on this night, until the light catches it just right, and you can see that this rabbit has two heads as it then bounds off into the night. In that moment, as darkness is beginning to fall, you see the light of what little starlight and moonlight reflected in eyes looking at you from up in the trees, off in the forest, and you feel almost surrounded by a second by staring eyes.
So comes back, helps set everything up. And then I'm gathering stones, whatever bit of rock I can find. And I am making a specific perimeter around our camp.
Are you looking to make like a low wall, or are you making like a religious perimeter?
More of a religious perimeter that also acts as a doubling guide for using the leftover salt I have to make a salt outline.
Ooh. Oh, what wall would this be? This is an interesting concept. Hold on. Let me really quickly take a look here. I am not sure what I should make you roll for this.
As I've been looking at what happens should we somehow level up, and Vampire Hunter's looking really good right now.
That might be a reasonable thing to go into.
They use folklore for all their incantation stuff, so
I was gonna say, like, alchemy didn't seem quite fair. Looking at that, alchemy doesn't seem to be quite fair. And this isn't a prayer, so I don't think incantation fits. So go ahead and roll me now. Where is Aldar drawing this idea from?
This, I have served as a mercenary for a long time with a lot of different religious folk and a lot of different suspicious folk. I am fairly certain I have served under an Inquisitor once. That was deeply unpleasant.
Okay.
But you'll learn some things.
Roll me a folklore to -10 as you're trying to
Okay.
recreate a thing from memory that you kind of half watched an Inquisitor. I would say an Inquisitor on a particular Nurgle hunt who had pox scars running down the side of her face. As you watched her prepare a campsite to in the midst of a hunt for a particular smiler who was causing a great deal of trouble in the northern part of the empire.
20 under 39.
You feel like you did an adequate job, and that any creature touched by the ruinous powers will have a difficult time reaching you in this night. Gisela, what are you doing while Aldar is making a salt ring around your camp? A salt and rock ring.
Um, I think I don't know. Gisla's starting to have trouble. She's gonna pull into a dry spot and try to take off her armor and dry it and care for her weapons and that sort of thing. And then if she has a little bit, she's gonna reach into her bag and pull out she has a couple of small prayer books.
Mm-hmm.
She has one that's sort of a primer that's got a lot of different small prayers. She's gonna look through that for a little bit. And then maybe after 15 minutes, she's gonna put it away and pull out the one that's got more in-depth stuff to Sigmar and start to look through it, try to figure out where she wants to be going, what she needs to be doing here. Get a little feeling of not being lost.
Gisela, roll me a resolve check.
Sure. Straight resolve.
Let's give it a +10 since you have your scriptures with you.
Oh, good. Resolve is willpower. I'm good at resolve. So I succeeded with a 50 under if I get a +10, it's a 75.
You consult some of the old scriptures of Sigmar. You read some of the tales of, given at this point in history, even the faithful are unsure how much of it is actual history and how much of it is myth. There was a time in this world when undeath was something that was known, common occurrence. And it was defeated. It was wiped from the world. It was thought to be eradicated thousands of years ago. And there is a tale of the group that would eventually become the Empire, allying with human civilization far in the south, defeating the last known necromancers in this. You find these long lost tales of Sigmar when he was immortal, before he ascended, before he was deified, confronting undeath, fighting them, throwing them down, and just trying to find the right word, but like through his resolve, overcoming this blight that was necromancy and striking it from the earth. It was considered to be one of the early great victories of the myriad of peoples that would come to make up different humanoid civilizations around the world. It was one of the great evils that they themselves brought upon themselves and then defeated. And there's that little bit of comfort of this trouble that has befallen your time. It is a real problem. It is a problem that people have faced before. And it's a problem that people have defeated before. And thus it can be defeated again through great effort and great faith.
All right, so as Aldar's finishing up his salt ring, Gisla's gonna shut her book and she sort of hugs it and she goes, "Oh, good. So all we have to do is have as much willpower as a god. It's easy. Just be as awesome as Sigmar was, because he just did it. It's fine. No, it'll all be fine." Okay, well, maybe this means he'll listen a little bit more, because he doesn't like these people. Yeah, that's what we're going to tell ourselves. Sigmar's definitely going to listen to us because he thinks undead is bad. And we're not going to tell ourselves that we're not as cool as Sigmar was. Okay.
Okay,
What?
Isla,
Uh-huh.
let me see your wound real quick.
It'll be fine. I just need...
Let me see the wound real quick.
And she had the armor off to dry it, and you can see it on her side. It actually looks like it's doing much better. It looks like if she sleeps overnight, it'll probably fix itself.
Just with the way you're talking, I thought you were coming down with a fever.
I don't understand.
All that self-doubt and chattering isn't like you.
Yeah. I don't know. Nethra, and she's gonna hold these like bottles of water out, and she goes, "I think Nethra thinks I can fix this." She gives me water and says that this is what's holding everything back, and I don't know. Sigmar fixed this a long time ago when he was before he was emperor. Sigmar fixed this, and I'm not Sigmar, Eldar. I can't fix this.
No. You're Gisela. And the reason that right now we're still here and we're still fighting is because of you. You have a relationship with a deity. One who seems to have a mighty shine to you. And I can understand why. Because you don't give up. And you're humble about it. And that's important. Now, you tell me what you need. All right. And I'll try and do my best to provide.
If I knew what I needed, well, that would make it so that we could get it, wouldn't it? I don't know. You understanding why he likes me helps, because I haven't since he started. But I don't know.
You want to talk? I'll listen. You want space? I'll give it. But right now, we're in the thick of it. And we all need each other right now. I know things are looking dim. But if we hold to one another, we'll get fucking through it. You have my word.
Yeah. No, I know. And you're a dwarf. The word of a dwarf. That's practically law. Would you believe that when I was younger, this was what I wanted most? To be a hero in an army?
Oh, yeah. Well, it's not to like armor, shiny weapons, all the ideas of glory. No, there's a lot to like. It's just they don't describe, the mud, blood, and shit in all those tales.
Yeah. Feels like that was a really long time ago. I don't know. This is seems like I keep going back and forth. I wanted it and then I didn't, and now I'm here again, and this is, I'm going to believe it's the right thing, because this is where Sigmar's told me to be. But I think we need him. I don't think I'm going to be enough.
And as much as I know about the gods, it's not how that works. Gods are great. The gods have a lot of strength and whatnot. But it is through the acts of the faithful that their true might is felt on this earth. As much as we may need Sigmar, right now Sigmar needs you.
Seems so silly when you say it. I mean, I know it's how it works in theory, but the idea that Sigmar needs me to be here. Suppose you're right. I suppose that's why he told me to get off my ass and come out here, but I never think it would be like this. I thought we were trying to make the Ulricans stop fighting. I guess we never do know what the gods are really thinking.
No, we don't. It's a pain in the ass that we don't. Look, let's be honest here. If you didn't have your suspicions back in town, and you weren't thorough about it, we would have been dead as doornails back at the church.
My suspicions didn't do much. We had a safe room that we practically got smoked out of.
We got to give our fellows a heads up, and that's because of you.
I think we're thinking of a different town.
Again, when we confronted she who shall be shot by Nethra.
Oh, that town.
Yes.
Okay.
But your suspicions about what it was the sister was asking for is what gave the Spears a heads up.
You and Nefra, you give me too much credit. Wasn't my suspicions.
Yes,
The
it
old
was.
lady. The old lady told me.
Yes, but you had an inkling.
I guess I did.
Give yourself more credit. There's not a lot of us going around here who can. So you're going to have to pick up that slack. All right?
All right. When this is all done, we're gonna go back to the abbey where I grew up, and you have to tell the sister in charge of alchemy there that I didn't sleep through everything. I figured out something.
I'll make sure to give her an entire report.
Good, because she won't believe it if I say it.
Just gonna have to live through this to make sure that happens.
Do you think Nether will hate me forever if I can't make the water burn the undead again?
No. We have many different ways to burn things. And we're very inventive in finding new ways to burn things. Dwarves are very good at a few things: farting, eating, setting things on fire, and forging shit.
I really hope that wasn't given to me in the order of importance.
Depends on which clan you're talking to.
I understand why Sigmar liked the dwarves. Okay. What's your salt ring gonna do? Because I kind of thought we were packing that for drying meat. So I'm really hoping we didn't just sprinkle it on the ground because we were bored.
This forest is enemy territory. Think of it as a barbed wire fence.
All right. I never seen that before, but seeing more and more things that I haven't seen, so we'll see.
Learned the trick from the Inquisitor. It was a bad time.
You know those guys are like crazy, right?
Oh yeah. Wearing nothing but a great coat and, some linen threads and facing off against worshippers of Nurgle. Face was scarred up to fuck, but the bastard lived.
And as Aldar begins to recount the tale of Inquisitor Yana to Gisela, I want to really quickly pan over to Nethra and Remsa, who, if I may, for a quick moment, are firearms involved in whatever you're doing at the moment?
Why are you asking?
I just because you had hinted earlier that there would be firearms
I
involved.
feel like you know.
I mean,
mean-
Nethra and Remsa. Salt ring has been put down. You were encouraged not to cross it.
And we have like a small overhang, right?
Yeah, like a little one, but not enough to cover a fire.
That's okay. It's just enough that Nethra can lean back and like start going over the basics of gun maintenance and how to use gunpowder in a repeating rifle with Rumsaw, because you want to keep the powder dry.
Yeah. Yeah. He like references the gun and is like, you put hand over gun, question mark?
Well, in a general sense, but you want to see, there's a pan here for the powder that's going to go in there, and then you're going to just pour, actually you're going to put some of the powder in the pan, and you're going to put some of the powder down the barrel. Again, bite, pour, spit, tap, aim. And almost always you're aiming up. Well, maybe not you because you're taller, but you want to make sure that the bullet doesn't fall out. Because that's a bad thing. But see, and she's going over like the full extensive way in which a powder and gun and shot are integrated into a gun like this. And okay, and so the other important thing is never put your face too close to it, because if it lights on fire, you're gonna light yourself on fire. It'd be bad.
Okay. How long is this particular firearm?
Well, it's technically it is a Hockland repeating rifle.
It is. It would be for a normal person. It would be considered a two-handed weapon, as you would have to hold it out. It has like multiple barrels that click through. It's almost like an elongated two-handed version of like a pepper box, basically.
It's technically probably just under the height of Nethra if it was like figuratively standing up.
Uh-huh.
You know, so for you it looks kind of small, but for her it's as big as she is.
Right. Cool. So he's fiddling around with it, trying to figure out what the things do. He struggles to fit his finger into the area where the trigger is.
We can fix that. I can fix that. Actually, hold on. And she'll like take the gun back and like pull a couple like her small screwdrivers and like take off the trigger guard entirely and take it and then just kind of bend it out and expand it and then put the trigger guard back on. It's like, well, that should work for you better. No, don't shake it. Don't shake it. Remember, all powder, don't want to lose it, going that way.
So, and he like holds it in a generally upright position, and he like, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Huh.
Oh, I wish I had a 7-barrel. You'd use a 7-barrel great.
And how many barrels does this have? This one currently?
It technically only has 1 barrel, but it has 3 chambers that you can rotate.
He'll put his 4 thick, beefy fingers on top of the 3 chambers that rotate, and then he'll do a dashing, debonair glance back at you.
Yeah, kind of. But, you know, actually, like a 7-barrel is actually 7 barrels around, and it's all kind of like this. And so it's like, it looks like this, but there are 7 individual shots that fire at an individual time. I can't fire one because it will actually knock me on my ass. It's almost like a cannon. But you are tall enough that it might not be a problem for you.
Oh, okay. What are you doing done?
Ooh, I can totally make you one. Oh, yeah. We're gonna have fun. But yeah, alright, so, aim. How's your eyesight?
Not good.
Well, then we're gonna keep your things to less target practice. Thank you for catching that reference, Tom.
I may have read the whole series.
I'm just gonna put something on here and say that if you want to be breaking the fourth wall, if you want to catch my love letter to Sharp in an as an RPG. I have an entire series called The Regiment. It's on YouTube. Yes, it's a thing that exists.
May Google that during the break.
Um,
Bernard Cornwell, everybody, fantastic author. If you want to up your battle scenes and descriptions in RPGs, read some Bernard Cornwell.
Yep. Yep. Anyways, but she'll go on to explain like the general sight lines of a gun like this and like how you would generally aim. Just the most important part is just make sure you don't hit anybody of us, but that wouldn't be a problem because you're shooting over our heads most of the time, so not a problem. Just don't shoot Gisela. That'd be bad. Gisela's real important. Right now, she's good. And that whole bit about, you know, being... She's pretty okay for an officer. She's okay. You'll also learn that there are two types of officers. There's murdering officers and killing officers. Killing officers are those poor dumb son of bitches that get you killed on accident. Murdering officers are those are assholes that you get killed for an ideal, for a perfection, all this bullshit. Yeah, she's not one of them. You know.
But she's still cool, right?
Yeah, you're right. She's not going to get you killed because, you know, she wants you to, you know, save the world or some shite like that. We're probably going to try and have to do that anyways, but right now we're running and trying to save ourselves. Also, if the gun gets too hot, drop it. You don't want to have it blow up in your face.
That can happen.
Yeah. Also, you gotta clean it pretty regularly, actually. Too much sediment builds up and it'll explode. Ooh, although... But they're usually pretty sturdy, and if you run out of shot, you can flip it over on its head and use it as a club and bash people's head in with it.
I like that. I like that. Yeah.
Remsaw, are you okay?
Never better.
Alright then.
Are you? Are you okay?
Yeah, pretty much. This is like the only thing I'm missing is my cannons, but, you know, I figure I'll get back to them eventually.
He crosses his fingers for you.
Mm-hmm. We got bombs, we've got guns, we've got repeating crossbows. Anything else you want to learn to explode?
If I do, I'll ask you.
Alright then. We should get some... that she's just gonna be like, you should get some rest because they're probably gonna want you to take early watch. I'm probably gonna get second watch again, which is fine. And she just kind of like takes the gun and goes, and make sure that the you always have the gun pointed out and never it's somebody you actually care about.
Okay. Lots of rules. Try to remember all of them.
It's like swords, right? You don't point the stabby end at somebody you care about.
Huh?
Well, unless you're intending to threaten people.
My friends must be different.
Usually, like, I don't go around threatening to shoot somebody unless I actually mean I'm gonna shoot somebody, and then I don't like them very much if I'm doing that, because they're probably gonna end up dead.
He'll like lift up his chainmail, and there'll be a whole bunch of cuts and scars. Half of these are from friends.
I think you need a better class of friends.
Oh, they laugh at my jokes.
I laugh at your jokes, but I don't stab you.
Not yet.
I laugh at Aldar's jokes. I've never stabbed him.
Not yet.
I don't think I ever want to stab Aldar.
Maybe not now.
Unless he becomes possessed by an evil undead thing, and then I'm going to shoot him in the face and burn him. But he'd probably thank me for it, so that's not fair.
See? You never know.
Mm-hmm.
Always be ready.
Right. And that's the point at which Nethra is just like, uh-huh, and leans back, has the gun still pointed up, cracks an eye, and then just closes her eyes and gets some rest, because she figures she's getting second watch again, because she can see in the dark.
As Nethra slips off to sleep, not troubled by the fact that Rumshaw clearly established a boundary in which she was ready to burn Eldar. With the salt ring, I'm content to bypass a series of rolls. As I'm going to say that all of you experience something very similar on your watch. The high ground provides a slight break in the canopy above. Moonlight comes down as the rain begins to recede. The light is reflected in dozens of eyes of varying sizes, not always set apart in pairs, sometimes singular ones, looking in on your campsite with flitting blue lights, almost like fireflies in the summer air, as the humidity ticks up and up and up with the rain having stopped. And through that restful but somehow still disconcerting night, I think this is when we'll take our break to return back. As you guys are spending a little night in the forest.
All right then, everyone, stretch, refresh, bio, all of that good stuff, and we'll see you in about 8 minutes, where I'm sure nothing will go wrong whatsoever at all.
This is all going to be fine.
Yeah,
Yep.
for sure.
Until
We're
then,
very scared.
we'll see you in a few minutes, everybody.
Bye.
we're here and we're back, and so hey everybody, we're back. We hope you are refreshed, stretched, ready to go, and we're back. Things are great, right?
Totally
Great.
great. Nothing is wrong. Except the fact that my camera can't focus.
Okay, well,
That's Zange.
What?
I think it's Sigmar.
No, Sigmar would actually let my camera focus. Because
might...
Sigmar loves me.
Not if there are evil eyes trying to focus on you.
One might say Billy has schemes within schemes. The night passes fretfully as all of you sleep, but have contorted and twisted nightmares that when you wake, you can only remember fragments of. The broken canopy does allow for a reassuring bit of sunlight to shine through. As the morning comes, the clouds have moved on. The rain has stopped.
Because Nethra asked for it, was I able to make any holy water?
Hold on. Let me remember what we were saying for holy water. Is there a thing for making holy water? I feel like there is. Hold on, real quick.
I don't know if there was.
There's a ritual.
Yeah.
I believe there's a ritual. Give me 1 second. To
Yeah,
find it.
you prayed last time over the water that you had.
Yeah, let me.
Yeah,
let me
but I
find
don't
it.
remember how
Not ready
roll
for.
was or.
Hold on.
I'm slightly familiar with holy water because, again, I'm looking at vampires.
Yeah, I'm familiar with it as a thing you need for stuff. I didn't look up how to make it, and I probably should have. Bad cleric. Bad.
How about we return to this in
Okay.
a little bit of off time, as the command F on the PDF is returning far too many hits on holy water. You need to begin your journey, Nethra. Navigation. I'm going to give you another, since you guys are on high ground with a little bit, you have the sun in sight. I'm going to give you a -10 only on this, as you have a landmark now. You have the sun. The sun is coming up on the left.
Cool. That is a... Ooh, that was just barely. 44 under a 52.
All right. You indicate the far side of the hill, slightly off and deeper into the forest, as the most direct line to Debatenheim. There we go. And as you indicate that, we're going to need to pick a trail. Eldar, at this point, you have become the survival check.
Yeah. Any penalties?
No, not in the midpoint of the forest, and the rain is cleared.
Okay, so that is a 47 under a 49.
There we go. You all begin to move off. And we're going to fast forward here, as there's a lot of forest to cover here. We will, unless there's something very significant you all want to happen with your characters here, I'm going to say that we have approximately 2 days go by of forest travel, moving into the 3rd day, as you all spend what seems like endless hours moving through these forests. The clawing suffocating foliage continues. The nights continue to be haunted by nightmares. Eyes in the dark continue to watch. And I'm going to need... Actually, everyone roll me an awareness test during all this. Oh, this is where everybody fails to roll, huh? Okay. All right. Nethra, what'd you get? You know what, Nethra, to be fair, that's on the upper end of single digits. That's actually quite bad for you, if we're going to be just perfectly honest. Aldar, what'd you roll?
8.
8. Yeah, see? Nethra, why can't you be like Aldar? Like, seriously.
Look, because I'm busy just also teaching Remsaw as I'm paying attention to everything
Wow,
else.
it's
I'm teaching
Remsaw's
Remsaw
fault.
how
Okay.
the importance of firearm maintenance and
Gun safety.
gun
Yeah,
safety.
what did you roll?
65 over 35.
Okay, so that's what that's why you're dragging Nethra down, obviously.
Yeah.
Yeah. Gisela?
Well, dragging the whole group down with 88 over 46. So that would be a crit fail.
Well,
I think that's our
Happily.
first one of the game.
yeah, I think that is the first crit fail. So Eldar,
Mhm.
on the second day of travel, around midday, is when you hear the wing beats. Because you rolled an 8, you hear them. They're off towards the road slightly. They're not over your position, but you hear the familiar beating sound of wings as with the thunderstorms past, the creatures have taken to the sky again, and it's damn near midday.
Shit. Get the cover.
Are we already in cover?
Better cover.
I'm going to look up. It's the trees, right? Is there better cover than under trees?
Get lower.
Nethra is actively looking for this thing to shoot it.
It's happily, you all are in deep enough forest that the sky is deeply obscured at the moment. Even with your single digit roll, you cannot visually acquire this creature. You do hear, when Eldar pointed out, the beating wings. And as you make a scan for this, we might bump this ahead to partway on the third day then, if I'm just going to narratively put this together. As you make a scan for this, in the periphery of your eye, you catch a glint of sunlight reflecting off of metal.
Cool, she's gonna do 2 things immediately. One, she's gonna train the scope, well, she's gonna train the gun on that point, and then she's gonna, as she kind of drops, and then pull, at the same time, like, pull down, like, reach over and pull down on Remsaw as, like, get down, kind of, inherently.
Himself. Oh, abides.
Because Remsaw is literally the largest target.
I love the visual of this, of like Nethra just pulling Remshaw down in the middle of the forest, as like normal forest noises like bird calls and animal noises just continue as you like kiss the dirt in this forest, as everything continues to be normal, and the glint of light as you look at it continues to shine in a regular fashion as a piece of metal unmoving.
How much of a pain in the ass? The piece of metal unmoving. Can Nethra target to the left of that piece of metal that is unmoving?
You can try, yeah.
Yeah, that's what she's gonna do.
Are you shooting? What are you shooting?
Oh, she's gonna fire the.
Are you firing the Hochland rifle or the?
How far away is it?
It's a little hard to gauge. It's far off.
Okay. Well, then she's gonna use the rifle because it has a slightly longer distance.
Roll me an attack at minus 20 because you don't quite know what you're shooting on. You're aiming at a space off to the side.
Yeah, her goal is to flush, right?
Yeah.
Like that's not gonna be a problem.
All right. So fire at minus 20.
How about a 6?
You all watch Nethra just kind of like slowly while laying there. And I don't know if Gisela and Aldar hit the dirt or just standing there being like, what the fuck are you doing?
Don't know. Aldar is going full Cadian. Cover is a lover.
Yes, it is.
Gisela, are you diving for cover as Aldar lovingly embraces the side of like a rock tree and like forms to it almost seamlessly to find cover? Is Gisela finding cover, or are you old school English officers standing proud and tall?
I mean, Gisela's wearing a lot of armor, and getting down on the ground and then back up again would be really difficult. So she's going to just stand here and assume that whatever is about to happen is going to happen, and she's going to do better if she can stand up and hit it than if she was laying on the ground.
I don't want to take too many liberties with Nethra's character, but I imagine like the slow pulling the rifle up, the cleaning of the scope, the like angling, like come up, blow a little piece of dust out of the scope, re-angle, the crack of a shot, the pause, and then the plink of a shot hitting a large piece of metal.
Bye, Billy.
Bye, Billy. Sleep
See you
well.
soon.
We lost a Billy to the necessities of life and sleep. Remember, y'all, life is greater than games, and sometimes sleep is good.
Mm-hmm.
And it's advice that the rest of us should share. But in lieu
Not
of
for a
that,
little bit.
there is a plink as the shot hits a piece of metal. It is.
Gisela's just going to go up and look at it.
I was saying, Nethra, you're well enough schooled with this. To the gap in this, it was a good ways off.
Yeah.
Gisela.
Is there any reaction when she does that?
There's like this beat, like 3, 4, 5 seconds, where everything continues to be normal, and then Gisela is just like, "Fuck it, I'm going," and just starts walking.
Gisela feels like she waited a really long time. Like everybody else hit the dirt, and she's like, "Okay, I'll stand here and wait while everybody else hit the dirt. I'm gonna let Nethra get her shot off." She's being really slow in particular, and then I hear the plink, and I'm like, 1, 2, 3. Oh fuck it, I'm tired of waiting.
The rest of you following?
Yes.
Oh, I'm following from a distance, significant distance, because I can still shoot it from here and not get hit. I like not getting hit. I don't have armor like that. Gisela gets hit like that.
Gisela,
Uh-huh.
you forge forward into a thicket. The undergrowth and the shrubbery around you becomes incredibly thick as you move through. A shape appears off in the distance and begins to resolve. It's large. It's easily, well, corrugated isn't quite the word for it. It's like a corrugated wave pattern of metal. Out the front of it emerges a stout cannon snout. On top of it, there is a open hatch. In the back, a slight wooden construction with wheels and a smoke pipe. Nethra, you recognize the design of a Imperial steam tank.
Oh.
Abandoned in the woods, a bit overgrown. Left here. The tarnish on the metal definitely showing some time in the woods, though some spots of it still gleam through. And it was that little bit that caught your eye. You see the slight deform where your round struck it and bounced off.
Seeing that, Nethra is up, patting Remsa on the shoulder, and actually runs by Gisela.
I don't know if we've got the time to fix her.
I can fix it. I can do this.
Even if you fix it, they're slow.
I
But
can make
they're
it.
armored.
But they're slow. Guys, are we really having this conversation every 3 or 4 days? We have
Look,
to
look,
get there
look.
fast.
Gisela, think about it. But we can keep moving at night because we're armored and we don't need protection.
Actually, I was about to suggest that we keep moving at night anyway for a couple of days, just walking because it's fast.
I'm the only one who can see in the dark.
That doesn't really matter.
Kinda does. You trip over your own feet. And then you're loud. This at least you're loud and protected.
I haven't tripped over my own feet in at least 2 days.
I'm out of salt. And this is the closest thing we have to safety out here.
No, okay.
Nethra's already looking it over to see how easily it would be to make it functional. She can do full repairs.
Test.
Ooh, a scrutinize. I can do full repairs on as it's moving, but just functional is all she wants right now. So that is a 40 under a 50.
The exterior's got some wear.
Mm-hmm.
Some of the wooden bits have experienced some deterioration. As you peek inside the hatch and look inside, while there is weathering and deterioration from the areas that got like direct, like open to the elements because of the open hatch, the actual steam engine inside, mostly sheltered from it, you feel like you could probably get this running inside of a day or two if you put concerted effort into it.
Got 2 days.
Okay. While she's doing that, Gisela would like to look around. This thing is overgrown. How the fuck did it get here? there's not a road to this spot, and I'm assuming other stuff has grown up. How difficult would it be to get this to a road?
Roll me a. Ooh, are you looking for scrutinize here? This feels like scrutinize.
So I have two different roles I want here. I am looking for a scrutinize. I would also like to sort of search a fellowship and see if I can remember when the last time something like this would have been coming this way. Like, when was the last time a tank would have been going into the woods?
Okay, so there would be the history, folklore sort of test to know, like, why the hell is this here? And then there's the scrutinize. How did this end up here, and how are we going to get this out of here?
Yes, she would like both of those.
Okay, so you can roll me a scrutinize to figure the first bit out.
9.
All right, so
Okay.
hey, wouldn't you know it? It looks like there's a track leading through here where it seems like this tank careened through into this thicket. It's a little overgrown, but you know, you've been with this particular mercenary unit attached as a member of the Church of Sigmar for a little bit. You've seen worse work, like, you know, work done with a spade. You feel like you and Aldar could probably cut, and Remsaw will be clutch here. You could probably cut a path out of this thicket for it inside a day of hard work. You might even in 2 days be able to lay down like little pieces of wood down on it and make it a really nice little path out of this.
Okay.
Folklore wise, if you and Aldar want to team up on that.
Sure. Aldar, you want to assist or you want me to?
I'll assist.
Okay.
That's a 2.
Ooh, delightful. Because I rolled a 52, so that makes it a 22.
Aldar and Gisela, putting your heads together, you remember that approximately 15 years ago, 5 years before this whole Civil War thing started, the Drackwald played host to a rather serious incursion of beast folk hordes. The Grendel poured forth from this forest as inspired by their ruinous lords, and a significant counterstroke was required, and you seem to have found an abandoned steam tank from that bygone campaign of a decade plus past.
If I had 2 more engineers, 5 more men, I'd say we go for it. I don't know if we've got the time.
I don't think we do. How fast are these things?
The thing is, they're steady.
And
That's-
they can go faster than we can walk.
They go faster than a walking pace of people, and they can maintain a steady speed fairly easily.
Think a canter of a horse. It's about that speed constant.
It would be like a cart, basically.
And we can all fit in it?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It wouldn't
So
be
we might want to
comfortable.
cut a sunroof for Rimsaw.
Yeah. Remsaw's the Remsaw might have to ride on top, but the rest of you, it wouldn't be comfortable, but you could all fit.
And we can leave the hatch open most of the time, it'd be fine.
Okay.
Do modifications on the way.
Security.
Nethra, because of what
speed.
you rolled,
Mhm.
and because I know it matters to you,
Mhm.
the cannon, the actual structure of the cannon is intact. It very unfortunately has some extremely old powder in it.
I can.
Oh,
I have new
gross.
powder. I have new powder. We're
cannon-
Yeah, but
cleaning
this
it.
thing needs to be cleaned.
It needs to be thoroughly cleaned before you're going to be able to
I-
use this thing.
I'm more worried about its traverse. That's my concern.
Well, the cannon in the 4 is fixed. You will need to turn
Oh,
the entire vehicle.
It doesn't have a traverse. Fuck.
It looks like the top of it had the mount for like a smaller weapon, and it looks like whoever took this and had it crash literally broke off the weapon that was mounted on the swivel on top and took it with them.
All right. We have security, speed, movement, and I can get this cleaned and moving in about a day.
Okay.
Hey,
Look
Thing
at it
is, we
this
need to
way.
make
You said your god does nice shiny things. This is a nice shiny thing that's marked with your god on it.
is there a mark of Sigmar on this?
So
I mean, for Nethra, it's the mark of the Imperial Army, and then Sigmar is the...
But you
all right,
said it
let's
now,
real
so
quick,
Gisela was
you all
looking.
are in the Imperial armies. Someone roll me a folklore plus 30 on this one, because
Sup.
yeah, it's the answer is going to be obvious, and then details will come up.
22.
22. So first of all, yes, the in some like literally on the other side, Sigmar is written in the Imperial Daedric language. It also carries with it some of the heraldry of Tibatenheim. This was clearly part of a force. Some of it is slightly outdated. You notice that it has some of the heraldry that it went out of fashion approximately 5 years ago into the Civil War. But it is definitely it was a machined piece from the city of Tibatenheim, specifically fighting for the Empire. We just got a raid. Are we being raided?
Yes, we are.
Lindy.
Welcome in, Raiders. Hey, Lindy.
Hi, Lindy. It's good to see you. We're finding steam tanks in the forest.
Uh-huh.
And yeah, so this definitely has the Sigmar like literally written on the side of it.
Okay. If you can get it out of here in a day, and you can promise that we'll pick up more than a day because we're not resting, then we'll do it. But Nethra, if it's not ready to go by this time tomorrow, we're leaving it.
Okay. I'm sacrificing maintaining the gun because I can do that on the road. I just need to get the engine and everything else, the treads working to get it moving. That's her thought process.
Nethra.
Mm-hmm.
As you reassure Gisela, you feel a drip, drip, drip on your shoulder. And you immediately associate it with rain. The rain that has been falling the last few days. But
she's gonna still look up because
the rain has stopped.
Mm-hmm.
You look up into the tree. You see 6 pairs of eyes looking down at you. The creature is a tormented sight when you look at it. There is an avian appearance to the first thing that you see. A large beak, 2 gleaming eyes. It has a horrific attachment to 2 other heads, as it looks as if a creature out of story books has had 2 other bodies thrust out of it, all of it bound together through almost cords of flesh that don't seem to quite fit together. It appears to be in pain through just purely existing and wishing to exact a price on any living thing it comes across.
Yeah, I'm gonna help it not be in pain from existing. Or
I was gonna say this. I think this is what we'll call it for tonight,
Yep.
as we want to include Remsaw in the next little battle here, as
Yep.
you all have found a creature of chaos.
Ah, fucking spawn.
it's like, I'm gonna shoot it because I'm keeping this tank, goddammit. I was promised a
was gonna say-
tank.
Y'all found a creature of chaos and a steam tank in the woods.
Yay!
We're gonna kill the creature of chaos. We're gonna clean its fucking skull and mount it right above the cannon.
Oh, yay.
That is one way to make Sigmar friends.
Um,
Hey, y'all, we have a tank and we killed chaos shit. Like, you checked both the boxes.
Look, and see, Nethra understood. It's got big sign that says Sigmar on it. See, Gisela?
Congratulations. Nethra is able to read the word Sigmar in the Imperial speech. I feel so proud of you.
Look,
Baby steps. Baby steps.
it's also not her first language.
That's what I said. In the Imperial language.
Yep.
Yes, you were able to read the word Sigmar.
Yep. But everyone, we're gonna go around, let everybody say where you can say all the fun things, where we can find you, all that good stuff. And something you really enjoyed about tonight. So we're gonna start with Tom. Thank you, Tom. This was fun. We had lots of fun. Bonding experience.
Well, first of all, you can find me on Twitter at TP_Grant. I talk about real world sportive violence and also like occasionally TTRPG stuff. In terms of TTRPG, this weekend on Saturday night, Laura and I will be on Master of the Games YouTube channel playing D&D, where I play Riley, the Doc Holliday inspired warlock, who maybe works for a lich to, stave off the impending death of his disease, and also likes getting in fights and cheating at cards. The basics. So that's what we'll be doing. And obviously we'll be back here next week on Wednesday for what is totally fine in finding a chaos monster guarding a steam tank.
It'll be fine. We're gonna shoot it and burn it. Nethra has a plan. Then we're gonna jump over to Laura. Hi, Laura. How are you? Gisela, apparently Sigmar really loves you. He gives you a tank.
I mean, I think I think you're getting a tank, and I don't think it's coming from Sigmar, but sure. Because if Sigmar had really loved me, he would have let me had not undead things on the road. But we'll work on that. So I had a good time tonight. Had some really intense RP. I have a lot of the feels. But that's good. That's how you feel the character. So mostly I'm not in a lot of the social media, but I will be with Tom on Master the Game this weekend, where I will be playing Nulty, who is a druid of the stars and somehow thinks Riley is okay, absolutely without any real proof of that.
Wow, no real proof? I feel like there's a bond there.
Oh, there's 100% a bond there. And an ignoring of all the proof that you are working for an evil undead lich. Just blindly not caring.
Okay, just because they're a lich doesn't mean they're evil.
No, this one's definitely evil.
We've had some evidence. It's
Wait,
definitely
it's been hinted strongly that some of the villains we're facing are also working.
We may have
for the
time
lich.
jumped in this into a future where Riley's patron has kind of taken over the world, and it's not great.
Well, you'll figure it out. It'll be fine. And then that leaves us with the wonderful, the fabulous Pope. Hi, Pope. How are you?
Hey, doing great. Steam tank, huzzah! Sanctioning chaos spawn. Boo! But we will see how that resolves next week. As for myself, hey everybody, Pope here, Pope World on Twitter, Pope World on Twitch. I lurk in all your streams. You get a number of places to see me this weekend. It's a busy one. As pretty much going 4 days straight of being able to see me in different places. Coming up this Friday over on Lost Caravan RPG, I will be there at 8 p.m. Eastern for some fake core. It is going to be something completely custom, the City of Living Dreams. So come out and see me try Fate for the first time. And then be back here over in Prax Gorthes before you on Saturday for a Song of Agapia's Fortune. As I'm going to say this, and you're just going to have to tune in to understand. Imperial Meat Puzzle. So if you want to know how that gets solved, tune in Saturday night, 8 p.m. Eastern. And then Sunday, 2 p.m. Eastern over on Balrog 1911. There's a coronation that get disrupted of a vampire who's calling himself king. And it may involve absconding with the crown before the ceremony and sabotaging it in a way that will involve branding the vampire's flesh for all time. So tune in to see how that goes. And then Monday, Wandering DM, 9 p.m. Eastern. It is the premiere of Montreal by Night. You will see myself and someone else familiar alongside of Trooper as we get to play some vampire. And yeah, if you want to see me dig into like the old lore and bring some history forward, tune in for that. And tonight was fantastic. Thank you so much, Laura, for that scene. You gave me so damn much. And that means a lot. Having that sort of thing and having you as a scene partner is great. Thank you so very much.
No, that was wonderful. I loved that. So thank you.
And that scene was my favorite part of tonight.
But also, yes, that the NCO has taken the shiny new recruit and has brought them over to the way of artillery. They're gone forever. Sorry, there's no, they're just gone. And thank you all for joining us and sharing in all these wonderful stories and scenes. Where live VOD to YouTube stories, nothing without its audience. They're much part of this as we are. Thank you all so very much. Take care of yourselves, one another, and I'll see you soon.
Always will, always will. And thank you again, Tom. That was a lot of fun. I enjoyed every minute of it. Thank you, Laura. That was a beautiful scene to watch and play off of. And yeah, I'm totally here for the fact that Nether's like, haha, I will bring my giant ogre friend into the dark side of artillery and he will leave infantry behind. It's fine. As for me, hey y'all, you know me. I'm at Dirjadonlan on Twitter or Praxgorth as Miaphorias. See me around here on Twitch, your friendly neighborhood Prax. We will be back here Saturday, 8 p.m. Eastern, as Pope said, for some more Song of Agapia's Fortune, high-level D&D campaign, and yes, the phrase Imperial Meat Puzzle will be very important. And I will just also want to say that if you missed out on the premiere, on the first group episode, last Saturday, it's all up on YouTube. I put all of these things up on YouTube, and you can go catch them in wonderful, beautiful playlists. But yeah, Imperial Meat Puzzle and a shit ton of undead, which are two things that I think you should be prepared for things happening. And then, like Pope said, on Monday over on Wandering DM at 9 p.m. Eastern for Montreal by Night, and I will just say, y'all, it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun. I'm embracing I have two major like character tropes that I play. I'm embracing one of my truly favorite character tropes. For that game. It'll be great. I'm looking forward to it. And then back here on Wednesday for some more Zweihander, because Nether is going to shoot something because she wants this damn tank. A, faster movement. B is a tank.
You got 24 hours.
I can
Possibly
do-
a little longer if people have to heal from this battle.
I'm gonna just say, I can do a lot in 24 hours. I can even sacrifice cleaning the gun and getting the gun functional until after we're on the road.
If
Yep.
I may.
Yeah.
Everyone should go follow Strength Saves on Twitter and go give Billy, our
Yeah.
sleepy friend Billy, a follow, because he has a hectic work schedule and can't be here to plug himself. But Billy's awesome.
Exactly. And Billy is wonderful. And speaking of Billy, season 4 of Witcher Roads Home will be coming back Sunday, September 11th. So there will be more Billy to see in if you haven't caught up on Roads Home, then that'd be a great place to check out the VODs on YouTube. It's great. So many VODs to check out, so many things to see, all the fun things. And this was so much fun. I always enjoy it. But we should share some love because love was brought to us. We should send a raid. Oh, we're gonna go raid Tanya because Tanya's playing Cult of the Lamb. And can I just say the thematic transition right there makes a lot of sense to me. But until next week, everybody, or until Saturday, have yourself a good night.